Last month on the Run 7 show, we tried to do some things together like disarm bombs.
Pyramid.
Nope, that's not it. 5. Damn it. It's gonna blow up in my face. 25 seconds, top to bottom. Damn it.
N, upside down E.
All right, got it. Yeah, we got that one. We had fun playing Star Citizen. We're crushing rocks and sucking up Hadnite. I forgot to hit reverse. I've been flying backwards. Son of a bitch. Drats. Spoiled again. Very first scan. We freaking nailed it. Let's go. Whoa, looks like you're gonna hit it, right? Hit the brakes. Estimated weight. We don't like to wait around here. We're impatient little bitches. It's gonna work! You still look at my spaceship? I gotta make my drip match. 68 Magellan meters. That's right, folks. We only had to do 6 extra steps in Pan Alpaca to get there, but we made it. Woo! Yeah! We popped that motherfucker! Go. Seriously, it just whiffed it away. We did all that work to put the space station in the shot and just whoop, gone. I'm a mining superstar. Woo! Oh, that was fucking great. And we had a disastrous time making Star Citizen videos. High quality game you got here, Chris. Let's go into Star Citizen and have a completely different nightmare. You're just jerking us off, Chris. You're just jerking us off. My New Year's resolution is to find a server that works. Just walk. I don't want the fucking glizzy. Come on. Jump up there, you fat tub. Oh, fuck me. Gomez, you asked, what's the payoff for mining? 3 hours to get fucking 0. Maybe I can shove this thing in my face and not die of starvation while we try to get Chris to fix his fucking game. We're star sitters. We babysit servers to see if they'll ever fucking work. You have to invest your personal time in this game. You have to suffer with the rest of us. Could have a winner here, folks. What the f***? This game, f*** you, Chris. See how much fun we have playing Star Citizen? This is f***ing great, isn't it? $750 million, 12 years in production. Everything's fine here, folks. That's what I think of this game. We started Silent Hill 2 and had a lot of jump scares. Oh, Jesus. Whoa! Ah! 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 What? They're not gonna jump out at me? Ah! All right, let's go down here. Ah! Jesus! Okay, now we're getting started. All right. Ah! We're doing okay. Ah! Ah! What's in here? Oh! Oh my God, it's just you. Oh! Oh! Jesus Christ! This other. Oh! Jesus! Oh! Jesus! Me! Oh my God! My heart rate is through the roof! Oh, and there was an issue with a toilet. What? No! No, James! No! Obviously, we're gonna do it, but why? Oh, look at his hand! Look at how filthy that is! I want to take a shower now! It looks bloody! Not only does it look filthy, it looks bloody as well! Somebody not only murdered that toilet, but was murdered on that toilet. James runs to the toilet, takes a knee, and then looks at the camera like, hit that A button. Hit that A button. Let's search this bitch. And of course, all our general shenanigans. Egg cartons blocking our path, folks. We can't get through. I will shoot you in either one of your crotches. And it's another glory hole. Further. Ooh, another glory hole. These are always fun. Further. James puts his hand in any hole he can find. Bingo. I know Purple Sticky needs like 2 midgets and a horse before he can get off. I'm the other end of the spectrum. Don't go cold turkey on the Java Cakes, my guy. Hey, little girl, want some candy? I bought the kids a PS5. I want a suit that makes me look sexy. Be a sexy space pilot. Shoot him in the dick. Shoot him in the dick, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, shooting him in the dick didn't work. And you just smash it into your face. I saw a snowman with some titties. All right, let's go. Finally, Maria's good for something. She's obviously like, hey, let's go to the titty bar and have a drink. And James is like, I'd rather talk about my dead wife. Ooh, burn. My wife bought me a Thrustmaster. Are you tired of regular minutes? Try time minutes today. At midnight, I turn into a pumpkin. Can you pay for my video game habit? But honestly, I'm broke as shit, so you guys need to pay for my video game habit. You're coming here to help me play this game? Doesn't work the other way around. Just do it, James. Can't be any worse than your haircut. Well, that was all my big brain ideas right there, all in one. Self-promotion's a bitch. So join us this month as we make all new memories. All right, I'm going live here. All right. We got Happy Hour Live, the new Happy Hour, and I've got Baka in on voice right now. I'm trying to get, let's do, how do I get that going? Where's the Discord window? Oh, and let's get some music too. Hell yeah. Well, Baka's not gonna hear any music. What the hell is this song we're listening to? This crap. What? This is not what we want. Okay, there we go. I'm probably gonna get a copyright strike for that. Hopefully I didn't go over 7 seconds. Play some smooth jazz. Here, I'll just put on some synth wave. That's the closest thing that I got. That's so yeah, we're gonna be smoking stogies and checking out how to pronounce Cohiba Bahiki. I think it's Bahiki. I don't know. And then just chilling. That's my plan. That's my big plan. I didn't think of anything further through. Oh, you like the intro, Sifushan? Is the wife there listening? Hi, Sifushan's wife. I don't know if she wants me to dox her.
Run, your Discord mic sounds like trash.
Yeah, it's not. It's probably not through the filter. It's probably not going through the wavelength filter. It's probably like the stock. Is it cutting in and out or anything?
No, it just sounds like you're in a closet.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I would definitely come out of the closet if that was for me. No qualms about that. I don't know why my microphone sounds so crappy in here. Isn't there a way to like adjust your microphone in Discord to make it sound beautiful?
Yeah, your Twitch mic sounds great.
I think you have the wrong microphone set on your Discord.
That's probably because I updated things and it screwed everything up. Let me see if I can fix that. Voice and video. Default microphone, it's the webcam. No wonder. Let's get that fixed. There, does that sound better to you guys?
Yes.
All right.
Like immensely.
Yeah, that's the actual wavelength microphone. Windstorm just subscribed for 31 months. Holy cow. Greetings from Finland. It's 5:10 in here, and I thought I'm out of whiskey, but no worries. I found a bottle of red wine. Whatever gets it done, Ruse. What's up, Duke? Glad you could make it. We turned it into a late night because I got stuck at work. I was moving dirt today, and I'm trying to clean up my knife blade without cutting my fingers open. Hopefully I don't like slip my own wrist here. There's some sort of like, I think it's caulking that's on my knife. I've been doing lots of weird work, and so I got lots of weird stuff going on with my tools and myself.
As long as you didn't get the caulking in your holes.
Nope, not in my holes. I put it in some nice lady's holes. I put it in an 80-year-old woman's holes. Oh.
You're raw right hearing that.
No, Raw's in bed right now. She might, if she's awake and listening to this, then she needs to go to bed. She was supposed to go to bed like 4 hours ago. I stayed up to put the kids to bed, and she's got to get up at like 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm waiting for Bubba Hotep to show up. I thought he'd be here tonight. I mean, he's the one who got me the cigars.
Rob, go to bed or no more vegan food porn.
That's right. Raw, go to bed. I think she is asleep. Okay, let me see here. Let me turn on the left display so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Okay, we are gonna look up JR limited edition Laguito number 6. I don't know if, I think it's called JR Alternative is what I think it is. JR Alternative. Vintage Dominican? Yeah, maybe.
Put your combo bucket to something interesting other than your ceiling.
I mean, it's almost the same as what you're showing us. Okay, sign up and get 25% off. JR Alternative Cigars. For almost 50 years, JR Alternative Cigars have been one of our best-selling brands with a presence in the humidors of aficionados, okay, I got there, across the country. Beloved for their affordable prices, consistent flavors, wide selection of sizes and blends, and top-notch construction, JR Alternative Cigars are a favorite among cigar connoisseurs with a tight budget who still want to enjoy a quality smoke. So, Real Bubba Hotep got me the JR Edición Limitada Alternative, whatever. This one right here that you guys can't hardly see because I got a super teeny tiny screen right there. And I'm kind of curious. On a budget, they're still $65 for 6 by 54. What does that mean? 6 inches by 54 cigars, maybe? It's got to be a box of 54 for 65 bucks. He got me the JR Edition Limitada, the limited edition alternative JR cigars. And it's a bundle of 20 for $63. What's the math on that? Like $4 a piece? $3 a piece, something like that. And he got me a 5-pack. Well, I don't know. They're nice though. A lot better than the Black and Mild wood tips I'm used to smoking. I don't mind vegan as long as it comes with pork or beef. Vegan side dishes are great next to your entree of steak, right? Everybody likes that. All right. I remember to get an ashtray. I got my fancy box cutting knife right here to pop these bad boys open. I've already messaged Bubba Hotep once, but he didn't reply to me, so I'm gonna send him one more message real quick. Hold on. Where you at, bro? There's that.
Fix your game, Chris.
Yeah, fix your game, Chris. Thank God I'm not playing that right now.
Do you have wood matches to light them, Run?
No, unfortunately, and I know better, but I don't have any wood matches. I don't have any matches at all to light them, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna have to go without. But what I do have, check this out. This is called a Vertigo. It is a cigar trimmer. Snip, snip, right? Check that out. That's pretty fancy right there. I can't get the camera to line up on it, and you can't see it. But it's a beautiful cigar trimmer. And I'm stoked because these Stogies have the rounded ends, not the pointed ends. So like you can see these pointed ends right here, and then we've got the rounded ends over here. I like the rounded ends because you can cut them straight, whereas the pointed ends, you have to cut them at an angle to produce the smaller hole. And so these are just my style. Pull one of these bad boys out. So
are you a toaster or a soaker?
I used to be a soaker, but then I became just a simple smoker because I just smoke any kind of cigar that was cheap and didn't taste too horrible, but never really did the toasting. I don't even know really how to do a proper toasting. All right. Ooh. It's got a real woodsy scent to it. Run just needs 1,000 more like Wapo. Is Wapo, I thought Wapo was streaming right now. Is he not? Oh, that smells so good. That smells amazing. That right there. That smells so good. This is supposed to be an alternative to a Cuban Bahiki, which let's figure out how to pronounce the Cuban cigar name properly. How do you pronounce Cuban how do I spell that? That'd be a good thing to know how to spell it, right? Behike.
Or
Behike. Let's just do, I know how to pronounce Cohiba. Oh, I said Cuban. I know how to spell Cohiba. How do you pronounce Bahiki? Behike. Behike. It's a Cohiba Behike is how you pronounce it. Okay, Behike. Well, you learn something new every day, folks. You learn something new. Behike. I've never known how to pronounce that. Ruse is up for the night, Wapo. They're doing it. They're in for the long haul. Quit giving them shit.
What size is that? A 54 or 56?
This is a 56. 6.5 by 56.
Yeah, you got a nice big one then.
Thank you. Go ahead and say it again slower this time. All right, we're gonna try out the brand new Vertigo cigar trimmer as well and see how this goes. All right, I love this trimmer. It's got like a stupid guard on it, so you can't trim too much of your cigar off, which is fantastic. Like you can't put the cigar all the way through, and it just allows you to trim exactly what you're supposed to and no more. I'm gonna try and trim this into the ashtray without.
You making me cringe every time you call it a trimmer.
What do you call them then?
It's a cutter.
A cutter? Okay, a cutter. It's a cigar shiv. Whew, look at that. Boom, just simple little chunk. Comes right out. Perfect cut. Wow, that's nice. That's a nice, perfect little trimmer. My cigar scissors.
You could use it as an impromptu moil.
I don't know what that word means.
It's a tool that Jewish
for trimming the tip. For trimming the tip. Cigar moil.
Yeah, it's called a moil.
Okay, now I know this is terrible that I have just an old lighter with like some mashed resin on the bottom from packing a bowl. Like this is the worst I could possibly use to light this cigar, but that's what we're gonna do. How do you do proper toasting?
Usually what you do is, oh God, it's hard. It's worse with a lighter, but you would put the cigar a distance away from the flame so that the tobacco starts to brown but not burn. So since you're not really lighting it.
Right, but I don't want to put butane scent all over this thing. I just want to get it lit and then enjoy it.
Well, you won't get butane scent by just toasting it. The butane taste comes in when you actually try to light it.
Oh, so I'm screwed either way. So I might as well try and give it a toast?
Yeah. You don't have like fireplace or barbecue matches?
No, nothing. I got nothing with me. I completely forgot. I thought I had regular matches, but I don't. And so I didn't go shopping before tonight, and now it's too late, and I'm gonna smoke this damn thing.
Yeah, fire's fire. It's fine.
Yeah. What's up, Dan? You gonna jump in or what? Come on, get in here.
Just remember when you start lighting it to rotate it, so you don't overcook one side.
Get it all around there. All right, let me see if I can get this thing.
Even ignition.
I need a bigger. You know what I could do? This ashtray is a candle. It's just an old candle in the bottom of it. I could my cherry centered. It's off to the side. Fuck it.
Hello.
You should pair
There
it
he
with
is.
like
Hello,
a
welcome.
tea or a
My,
gun tea.
My
What's up?
headphones are the wrong thing for some reason, so.
What's up, Dan?
How is it going, sir?
It's going good. I wish I knew how to blow smoke rings. I'm the worst smoker there ever was. This is good though. But I'm so like when I half inhale it, it's brutal. I gotta be careful because I'm in a little room. I'm basically hotboxing this bitch in here. It's gonna be a lot. But this is a delicious cigar. This is so much better than the cheap crap I've been having for the past God knows how many years.
About 80%.
The medio tiempo leaf is really smooth.
Oh wow.
Are you much of a cigar smoker, Ron?
I used to be I wouldn't say a connoisseur, but I didn't shop the bottom shelf until I started shopping the bottom shelf. Then I just smoked Black and Milds, and I would take the paper liner out of the inside and stuff the tobacco back inside so it was much more smooth and less of that flavored crap that they put in them. Black and Milds are disgusting when you smoke them with that stupid paper in there. So what games do we recommend for players? The new Monster Hunter looks really good, but haven't played any previous games. I've heard ups and downs for Monster Hunter.
I know Rove Gilead's trying real hard to get me to play Monster Hunter. It just does not look like it's my cup of tea.
Yeah, I don't know. There was somebody just recommended one that I put on my Steam wish list, and it actually looked kind of cool. Let's go to my wish list and I'll show you what I'm looking at. All the way at the bottom because I just put it on there. The Last Caretaker, which has its early access coming soon right now. And it's like Elon Musk's personal robot meets Resident Evil. There's missiles out on landing pads, there's robots who have to solve puzzles, and there's weird creepy vines from some other dimension that are growing in things. It looks pretty cool. I did not get this cherry lit right.
Can you give me that title one more time?
Say what?
Can you give me that title one more time?
The Last Caretaker. The Last Caretaker. So that's on my
Look
list. I'm looking at Sunderfolk. Looks pretty fun because you use a Wes is left. Just subscribe. Thank you, Wes is left. You're freaking amazing. Sunderfolk looks cool because it's like a tabletop game that plays out on your TV, and you each use your cell phones to do the controls. So like you have your cards and stuff, and the other players can't see what they are, but you get to play in the same room as everybody. That one looks kind of cool. Subnautica 2 looks cool. I don't know why Little Nightmares 3 is on there. I don't know. It just popped up, I guess. Firebreak's probably nothing. Elden Ring.
I assume Subnautica 2 is still a long way off, though.
What's that?
I assume Subnautica 2 is still a long way off.
Release date 2025 says.
It's going to be a day one for me. I loved Subnautica, the first Subnautica.
I haven't played Subnautica the first one yet, but it looks amazing. And Rick keeps telling me I need to play it.
You absolutely do. That would be a fun one to stream.
Wes, you gonna jump in here or what? Dadpool, come on.
Subnautica is it's not a scary game per se, but like there is a level of terror to it at times.
Yes, and that's what I heard. They're kind of ramping up the action in the sequel, so could be good.
It could be, but honestly, like I don't know if you need to ramp up the action. Like it's such a chill game for most of the time, but when it's like
it's
tense,
it's dreadful.
It's very tense.
There's some weird games on my wish list that I'm like, why did I put that on here? Like Commando's Origin, why is that on here? I have no idea what that even is. Killing Floor 3, I have Killing Floor 2 and I've never played it. Split Fiction looks good. Split Fiction is from the makers of It Takes Two, and it's an It Takes Two game, except it's two people who are really into fiction. One's into science fiction and one's into fantasy fiction, and they keep like jumping into each other's worlds, and they have to work together to get through them. So
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that sounds pretty neat. West is Left wants me to play Hyper Light Breaker. That might be more his thing than mine, but I'll give it a go. My kids want me to play Trail Makers, which actually looks like a cool little sandbox. You build missiles and planes and cars, and you can do all kinds of fun stuff with them. It looks okay. I watched some other content creators do Trail Makers. It looks fun enough. And for the kids, you know. Big Helmet Heroes, Benny's Backrooms. Keeping an eye on the Backrooms. Doesn't look like it's going to be for me, though. The Cabin Factory for $3 looks like a game I might check out for $3. Run 7 is older than me, if I remember correctly. I think we're like almost like we're like months apart, right, Duke? Are we like months apart? My wife calls you old man all the time. Your daddy meter just skyrocketed with the cigar in your hand. My daddy meter? I don't know what a daddy meter is. I can guess. I'm not sure. I can guess, but yeah. Skydance's Behemoth looks really cool. It's one of those games where they have enemies that are just 1,000 times bigger than you, and you have to like climb up their leg and into their ear and eat their brain or something to kill them. I don't know. Probably not that graphically violent, but still, it looks kind of cool. No More Room in Hell 2. It's a zombie game, right?
Sure.
I don't know. The one I really want to play.
Maneater was fun. It was really stupid, but it was fun.
Yeah. My kids want me to get Maneater, and I'm like, for $40, no way. But you know, if they do a 90% off sale or something, I'll grab it.
Yeah, I played it on Xbox Live, so it was free, and that was the right price to pay for it. To be honest, $40 is way too much.
Yeah. Volcanoids, I watched Jaw play Volcanoids, and it looks like a good game. It was, you know, that's been out since 2019, and it's one of those games they keep improving on. It looks pretty good.
Okay.
Into the Radius 2, I don't even know why that's on here. Doom the Dark Ages looks kind of cool. I'm a big fan of Doom, although I've never played Doom Eternal, and I don't know if I'm gonna or not.
It's a very fun, stupid game. Like, you just turn your headphones up as loud as they can go, or as loud as you can bear it, and you just rock out and kill things as fast as possible.
You forgot to say turn off the lights.
Turn off the lights.
You're not
too.
wrong, though. What's up, Dadpool?
It's probably not. Doom was never all that scary. It was just a fun shoot 'em up, dude. I'm really just enjoying the fragrance of this cigar. It smells
Doom 3
so
was
good.
pretty scary at the time.
And even though I keep accidentally inhaling, like full on inhaling this, it's not killing me. It's a deep aromatic, like you pull this in and you feel it in your chest, but it's not tearing me apart. It's so smooth. Jedi Survivor and Dying Light 2 are free for PS. Okay, Jedi Survivor looks good, and I would check that out. Dying Light 2, I never played Dying Light at all, but I watched it, and I was like, that was a game where I was hovering over the mouse to purchase it and didn't, but I came awful close. That's how much I liked the look of Dying Light, the first one.
It's very chaotic. I haven't got through it yet. I started it.
I watched a buddy play Jedi Survivor for like half an hour, and he just ran around in basically circles on the same map trying to figure out where he was going. And I was like, I don't think this one's for me.
Yeah, they say that it's not so big that you can't, like, you can drive across the entire place in like 15 minutes. So it's not that huge of an open world, but it's still, yeah. I don't have time for open world games. That's the thing. It's either going to be Star Citizen or it's going to be like a horror survival game that I play through in a month. You know, and spend a couple hours every week and just play through it in a month.
How are you doing with Silent Hill 2?
That is going great. Wonderful D says that I have about 4 hours left, and so I'm going to try and get in sometime this weekend and just play through and finish it. Because we made it to the island where James's wife is, I don't know. I don't know if it's where his wife is, but like, they build a story about rowing out to an island, right? And we rowed out to an island. So I'm assuming that we're there, and I'm assuming we're gonna find out what happened to James's wife. I don't know anything. Like, seriously, I don't have a freaking clue what's going on in Silent Hill 2. I have all these theories, but they have given me nothing as to what's going on. I know that James's wife was supposedly dead or gone. I don't know. He thinks she's dead, but he got a postcard from her to go to Silent Hill. And then they introduced like 3 other characters and we just killed one of them. And that's it. Like, that's literally all I know. Actually, 4 other characters and we killed one of them. And my theory is that James cheated on his wife with a chick and maybe has an illegitimate child. I don't know.
I've never played any of the Silent Hills. I didn't realize they were leaving it that much open to your interpretation. I thought they were kind of like Resident Evil, where they would present you with the story, and that is the story.
Yeah, like they don't really give me enough to understand why James is in Silent Hill and why he keeps going. He has a dead wife and he's trying to find her. But he's not afraid to continue on through Silent Hill. Meanwhile, I'm pissing my pants playing the game because it's so scary. Doom the Dark Ages does look pretty fun. Yeah. So, Sivushan, I've played some Total War games. There was a Total War style of game on mobile where you could like summon big giant guys to fight on the field, but you controlled like a whole bunch of different types of troops and sent them into different angles and strategized, right? It was really good, but it turned into one of those mobile games where it was like, I need to pay or this is just going to take me too long and make me spend too much of my time logging in and grinding. And I didn't want to pay.
That's every mobile game.
Yep, that's that gotcha mechanic.
Got your wallet.
Dadpool, what are you rocking these days?
What am I rocking?
Yeah, like what's your? I mean, your Helldivers, of course, but you got a side piece you're playing these days?
I have a backlog of games. So Metro is big, and then I play all my son's games. I've beaten so many Nintendo games this year, or just in general, it's ridiculous.
My kid's been playing Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I want to play that. It looks good. It actually looks really good. He also got Pikmin 4, but
bomb game.
I love Pikmin, but Pikmin 4, the story is so lame, and there's so many like tutorial things that you can't skip, and it is just painfully slow getting going. And I'm like, just let me play.
I got dragged through freaking Mario Brothers ship. We just beat that today, and oh my gosh, I've never played a story that just drags on forever. It's one of the few Mario games I just don't like at all.
Yeah, I started on my journey in video games on the Nintendo with the original Super Mario Brothers. I believe, was it Mario Bros? It was Mario Bros. Was one, right? That's where I started playing video games. And then, no, I lied. I played on an Apple Mac computer. It was the whole thing in one, and you put in a floppy disk.
Yep.
And it was this crazy ass game where you would click forward and it would change the scene, and on the right side it would have the dialogue of like what's happening around you, but it would be a still picture. But you could click on a few things on the picture to interact with them or do something, and it would tell you on the right side what's happening because nothing would really change. But it had this glitch where after you'd move 7 scenes, it would suddenly just teleport you into this pit with a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It was broken and I couldn't, but I ended up playing it until I finally was able to beat the T-Rex in the pit and escape from that. And then it never teleported me there again. And then it was amazing. And I found a submarine and there were wizards and all kinds of weird shit. That was fantastic. And then I moved on, and then my mom got me a Nintendo and I played Mario Brothers, and it was downhill from there.
I'm the youngest in my family, but also my parents were like, my biological parents were foster parents. So we had like, when I had like 2 older siblings, but also like 11 older siblings, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they always had technology in the house. So I don't remember what my first system was, but I know we had a Commodore 64. I know we had an Intellivision. I know we had an Atari. And then the Nintendo was like the first system that was like mine. And I had like Mario and Mario 3 and stuff like that for it. But I know like I used to play all these ridiculous games like Bazooka Joe and stuff like that on the Commodore 64. We had to like put the disc in, load it up. It took like half an hour to load up, and you just like finally get to play this like 2-bit game. It was so brutal but amazing.
I circled back around to the Atari, and I hated the experience. I don't like going backwards in graphics. That's why I'm a little bit afraid to play The Thing remastered because I loved The Thing, the original game. And I don't mind a remake of a game like Silent Hill 2 is a remade game. It's not remastered. But going back to a remastered game and seeing even the improved graphics, but it's still, 2 decades old or whatever, it bothers me. So I'm worried about that one. But yeah, I went back to the Atari and it was rough. It was rough for me. And I was like, I can't do this.
The Atari's rough because not only are the graphics bad, but the gameplay was awful back then. I find like the Super Nintendo is kind of like my limit. Like I can go back to that age and like the gameplay is strong enough that it's engaging and the graphics are good enough you can tell what's going on screen, and I'm like, okay, I can live here. That's pretty happy territory for me. But like Atari's rough in gameplay and graphics, and that's brutal.
Have fun with the puppies, West. Yeah, the Horizons game looks good. I'm trying to talk my kid into falling in love with it, so he'll ask for it or get him to buy it with his money, because I bought the boys a PS5 and I want them to buy games for the PS5, not me.
They're 12, Ren. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's not even that. It's 8 and 10. My youngest wants a
Even
VR
worse.
headset, and I'm like, honey, he wants a VR headset. We should get him a VR headset.
Yeah.
That's not happening anytime soon.
No.
Yeah, you can pick up Cyberpunk for $30 on Instant. The DLC plus the base game. I know you've been wanting to play that for a little bit.
Cyberpunk is something that I have to get. Why is it not on my wish list? Why is Cyberpunk not on my wish list? Let's
That
go.
is a game you'll get lost into.
Well,
And
yeah,
they're
I mean,
constantly updating it.
Cyberpunk is the kind of game I would like. I've always wanted to play Cyberpunk, but when it first came out, it was a hot mess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That first year was rough, but they figured it out. And
Oh yeah, it's fantastic now, and I'm just waiting for it to be
NFT
real
investors.
cheap. Let's do Cyber.
That's
Yeah, there we go.
'cause, like Sony and Microsoft wanted it out immediately for Christmas.
Yeah.
If I get Phantom Liberty, does that come with Cyberpunk and Phantom Liberty, or is that just the expansion? I bet that's just the expansion.
Steam is just gonna sell you the expansion. I'm pretty sure. I was browsing Instant Gaming for my wife to see if we can't find something, but
Yeah, you got to get the Ultimate Edition to get both, and that's like $82. Yeah. So,
yeah, not worth it.
yeah, especially when like in Christmas, they had like a 95% off sale, and I was like, I should get. No, it's 90, and it was like, I'll wait for 95% because I'm such a cheap bastard.
Here, I'm sending it to you right now, actually. Boop, boop, boop. There you go. $34, full thing, full package.
Cool. And what's that on?
If he wasn't buying it at 90% off, I don't know if he's buying it for $34, but we'll see.
Well, I should just go ahead and pull the trigger on it. I mean, look at that game, man. That's obviously Phantom Liberty. I watched the Cyberpunk on Netflix, man. I was like, dude, this is so cool. I got to get in on this game because just the cartoon of it was amazing. Like, I just love
All that lore is in the game too.
Yeah,
From the show, it's pretty wild.
right. I mean, it's definitely one that I'm gonna get to eventually. I need to. I just want to get to Cyberpunk before they get Cyberpunk 2, right? Because eventually they will. I would think,
imagine
right?
that's still a ways out, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
So
this
the base
one came out in
game,
23 though.
without the DLC, I mean, I've sunk 448 hours, and I still have stuff to do in that game.
Yeah.
Like, it's maybe the same company that did The
If you
Witcher,
work
right?
it
And those are like a decade apart, easy.
They're working on Witcher 4 right now.
Yeah, but when did Witcher 3 come out?
This one doesn't want to like stay
PS3?
lit. Like I can't just like let it burn. I gotta puff on this thing to keep it going.
Yeah, Witcher 3 came out in 2015. When's Witcher 4?
Eventually.
Eventually, yeah, exactly. Well,
I've
actually, at least
never played-
2026, so 11 years at best.
I've never played any of the Witcher games. Not a one.
I tried 3
1
after the
and 2
show was
were
so good,
rough.
and it didn't
3
do
You
it
have
for
to
me.
play. You have
Three's
to play the
good.
controller. I cannot play on MNK. It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta play on controller for that game.
Well,
When you
yeah.
cook the cigar properly, it'll get it dry enough so that you can maintain a cherry longer, because it's probably still too moist at the tip, so that when you lit it, it's not staying lit.
I see. I should have gone more toasty, huh? I need to find a new game. Lately, nothing has kept me interested. Get into Star Citizen with me, Sivushan. I'm playing that all the time. Just quit your job and play with me like I did.
Terrible game.
You need to quit your job just to do anything. You need to have 12 hours a day to get anywhere.
The game's
Yeah.
terrible. I got stuck in an elevator. It was awful.
Everybody gets stuck in an elevator. Welcome to Star Citizen. That's the whole game. That is the game. Is getting stuck in an elevator.
Tutorial.
That's your rite of passage.
They need
That's when you uninstall.
like it was kind of funny. Everybody's like, man, they put in this new music for when you go through the jump gate to Pyro, and everybody's like, oh, this music's amazing. It's so intense, and it plays, and it gets better as you go through it, and then it builds and all this stuff as you're traveling through the wormhole. And I'm like, why are they making music for the wormhole? They need to be making music for the elevators that you get stuck in. That's where they need the good music, because that's where we're spending all our time. I don't know. They're supposed to be working on transit. That's the big thing that Star Citizen is. They're like, we're gonna roll back, and we're gonna cut back on all this new implementation of stuff, and we're gonna focus solely on fixing transit. And they just posted their roadmap on like Thursday, and it's got like 5 big ticket items like base building, crafting, weapon wear and tear. And I'm like, dude, what happened to holding off? Like, come on, guys. I'm still pulling my ship out of the hangar, and it explodes as it pops up. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, bug fixes before they do all that. That's crazy.
It's not even bug fixes. They just need regular functionality. Like, it's not even bugged. I wouldn't even call it that. I would call it unfinished transit systems that just don't work in so many different ways. Dude, this guy here, what's his name? Come on, give me the full screen. This guy here.
Idris Elba?
Yeah, he's amazing. This guy's amazing. I love him as
I
an
didn't know he was
actor.
in it.
I didn't know he's in it
Very good
either,
actor,
man.
He's in Phantom. That's the DLC. It feels like a separate game as far as what people have told me.
Ruse, I played Black Myth Wukong for like 3 days. It's really, really well done. It is just boss fight after boss fight after boss fight, and I prefer more exploration and adventure in my games, personally, other than just like fight a giant boss, walk 10 feet, fight a giant boss, walk 10 feet, fight a giant boss. It was just too rinse and repeat for me.
I heard
Well
that,
made, just not for me.
I heard that it gets
Every
rinse and repeat,
Souls-like,
but
man.
when you get towards the end game, it starts mixing it up more. It's just the entry level is like a lot of the same thing over and over. Yeah.
Maybe I got like 12 hours in, and it was just. Well, now, admittedly, 12 of those hours was probably like a good player. Probably was like 3 hours in tops, but it just felt exactly the same. Everything I did, like, I don't know. I wanted to like I liked Elder Ring for what I played of it because you could actually explore quite a bit, and there were big boss fights. And then this one, it just felt like it was a straight path. You're not really thinking. You're just walking 10 feet, fighting something. Walking 10 feet, fighting something.
Dude, Elder Ring, you guys know me. I am not the greatest video game player there ever was. I jumped into Elder Ring for 1 hour and I went, nope, I bought this by mistake. This was the wrong thing to do. I'm out. And then I never went back. Beautiful game, amazing. I watch other people play it. I'm like, that looks like so much fun. I do not have the skill level to play it.
I did the exact same thing because somebody had told me it was like, oh man, it's like Skyrim. And I was like, oh, I love Skyrim. And I bought it. I'm like, this is not Skyrim. This is Dark Souls. Oof. I did have some fun with it though. I did enjoy it for the time that I played it, but I definitely hit a wall where I'm just like, I am not good enough to progress any further, and I don't care to learn.
I got the house to myself. I took a nap and slept through my alarm. I'm really sorry. Well, get in here.
Oh, Tap. God damn it.
Get in here. There. Hopefully he'll join us. Dude, this is great. I haven't had a good cigar in so long, and this is really good. Keeping the cherry lit is tough, but I think as they dry out, if I got a dehumidifier or whatever, and they were a little more dried out, yeah. And I'm finding the right way to go about the right pace here.
Is it Monte Cristo or was it?
Okay, so we were talking about these earlier. And okay, here's the thing. When I first got this package, somehow I missed the giant JR alternative that says alternative to Cohiba Bahiki. I already forgot how to pronounce it. I'm going to call it Bahiki. It's the alternative to a Cohiba, right? But what I read was the Cohiba Bahiki, and I was like, holy shit, did he just buy me like a grand worth of cigars or something. And then I realized what it was. Still very nice cigars. And I see, like, if you're on a budget, these are good. These are good.
Sorry, who bought you those?
Hotep. And
Wow.
I keep trying to inhale them, damn it. I'm terrible about that. I need to remember to kind of inhale through the nose as I puff them. Just get the scent. Oh, man. How about Final Fantasy franchise or Francisi? I don't know. Yeah, some of the channel point redemptions aren't gonna fit on this scene, guys. Sorry. It looks like that one's trying to crawl down to my dick.
Final Fantasy stopped for me with 9, personally. All the multiplayer ones, I'm sure they're fantastic. They're just not for me. I just don't have the time.
I love 14. The MMO one, it's still going actually. It's actually
Oh,
pretty good.
I believe
Always
so,
updating
yeah.
it.
Here's the Behemoth one here. I played one Final Fantasy game, never got into it. Okay, so obviously 7. I came in on 7, and that's a great jump in point. If you want to just catch some of the best, just start at 7, right? And
well, except it's hard to go anywhere from there because you start at the top and it's all downhill. Like, what do you do next?
Okay, what was the one? I think it was 12. Was the one where they had the gun swords? That one was fun.
8 had a.
Maybe it was 8.
8 had gun swords.
Gun lance.
It might have been 8. It might have been 8 then. I
He had
remember.
the scar across his face.
Yes, that was it. And I actually liked that one. Not a lot of people like 8, but I liked that one. It came at a time in my life which was, I don't know, it was a weird time in my life. And I remember hanging out at my girlfriend's house and playing it on her little brother's PlayStation. And I would sit there and play it for hours, and it was amazing. Wish I would have been spending more time with that girlfriend, but whatever.
We all have regrets.
That was the one that got away, right? That was the one that got away. But it was a great game. It was a great game. Was thinking the Final Fantasy VII remake. I kind of want to check that out. Dan, weren't you playing this? Somebody was playing the Final Fantasy VII remake.
I played because it's remake and then rebirth, right? So I played the remake before I was a streamer, so like years ago, and I did enjoy it. But then by the time Rebirth came out, I just don't really have the interest. I don't know why. I don't know. Like, I enjoyed the first one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wanted, like, I knew obviously it was a remake versus a remaster, but honestly, all I really wanted was a Final Fantasy VII with better graphics. And instead they changed everything about it except for some of the locations. And it's just like, I don't know. Okay, cool. Like, it's a good game for a new generation, but seriously, I would have been so happy with just really nice graphics on Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, probably going to be the problem with that one because it looks amazing. And the story sounds great. So, I don't know.
You can pick
It
it up
seriously
for
looks
under
really
$20
cool.
right now.
What was that?
You can pick it up for under $20 off that same site that I usually use.
Do you have stock in that site, or like what's going on over there? 'Cause you were pushing that site on me all the time.
I want to be sponsored by them because I see so
Okay.
many freaking Helldivers content creators that utilize them. They're sponsored by them. So anytime I have a chance to talk about them, like
I'm not going to lie.
I like buying from there too.
I'm in a good place with friends who pitch me great sales on games or buy me games or get free copies that they can send to me and have been keeping me flush with stuff to play. It's fantastic. Just like the one Dadpool sent me, the real cheap cut of Cyberpunk. Like, and I have so many. Look at my freaking library over here of games. Look how long this list of games is. I've played 30% of them. Hell, I've played 30% of the ones that are installed on my PC. It's ridiculous.
That's just Steam. I can only imagine what your Epic
and I've
library is
got
looking
Epic
like.
and Galaxy, GOG or whatever they call that. I have like 3 games on GOG, but whatever.
I got GOG for one game and I pretty much deleted it and bought it on Steam anyways. I'm just like, I will never remember that I own this.
Yeah, that I got it so I could play London. Is it truly about length, Run? I don't know. I prefer width myself, but you know that's every guy's got his preference.
My library is getting huge, but my wish list is getting out of control because I'm just like, I don't know, like 2 months ago, I don't know why my brain just went like, oh wait, I can wish list whatever I want. Like, there's no limit there. Like, just every game I see, like, that looks mildly interesting. Wish list. I haven't paid more than like $8 for a game in a long time.
As soon as you do wish list, they'll let you know when it goes on sale.
Exactly. That's the number one. And then even then, half the time they're on sale, I'm still like, I'm still good.
Reba's, I always loved Gears of War for their waves.
Ooh.
The waves in Gears of War was always a fun one for me, as well as I think it was Black Ops 3 when they switched over to aliens, and the aliens would come in waves, but you would also move through the level also, and that was kind of cool too. Of course, you know, Black Ops Zombies, I played that Kino level over and over and over just to blow off steam. But as far as new games where you're surviving the waves, probably Vermintide is kind of something like that. You're moving through the level though in Vermintide.
Vermintide is good. I've heard Darktide is actually better. It's like kind of a sequel to it. It's the 40K version.
Yeah.
So I've got that on my wish list. It's $50 at the moment. Well, Canadian, $50. So like it'll have to go down to like 10 or something. But if it does, I might be like, ooh, let's give that a try.
So this is the one my kid
There's
wants.
supposed to be a new Gears coming out, and I'm super excited. I'm a huge Gears of War fan.
I played 1, 2, and 3. Never got through the story on 3. I ended up just falling away from it. I started playing multiplayer on it, and it got into that if whoever had the best connection won, because you did the shotgun roll. You'd roll at them with the shotgun, and whoever pulled the trigger just microseconds first won. And I hated it.
That was pretty broken when the game launched.
Yeah.
Always glad to see Cleaning Agent doing Candy Crush. That's more my speed.
Yeah, him doing
Is that what
Candy
he's doing
Crush.
right now?
He's never
I was
played
looking
Candy
at that
Crush
campaign.
before. That was
I was
so
looking
funny.
at that campaign, and then I saw him do it. I'm like, fuck. All right, never mind.
And he was like explaining how the game works to us, and we're like, dude, you're the only person here who doesn't understand Candy Crush. Oh, Bubba Hotep, I am absolutely loving this cigar, man. This is fantastic. Thank you so much for this. We checked them out. You spent way too much money on me, brother.
Nah. It's a sample deal. I'm glad to know you like them, though.
It came with a whole bunch of like coupons and stuff in the box, like all this other stuff to try. All of it was like crap for me, right? It was like what's the food box prep, like HelloFresh and stuff like that. And they were good deals if it's something you want, but it was nothing I wanted. But they did have the $3 for $3, you can buy the $16 box of Harry's razors and shaving kit. And I've been meaning to get me into some Harry's for a while, so I'm probably gonna take that coupon and buy the $16 box for $3.
There you go.
Because I got tree trunks, man. I burn through razor blades so fast, and we all know, man, razor blades are just so overpriced. I look for the sales when they sell the razor and 2 blades, and it actually is cheaper than buying blades in like an 8-pack of blades or something. And so you end up having like 5 of the actual razors themselves.
My father taught me to shave on one of those, you remember those old-timey single razors that were like dual-sided, and you could twist the bottom to open it up to put in the single straight razor.
The single
blade.
straight razor,
Those
yeah.
work the best. That's what I use.
Yeah.
I bought one of those, and I have one of those, and I love them. A 10-pack of those blades are like $1 at Walmart, and a 10-pack will last me 6 months.
Wow. See, when I shave, it just cripples those blades so bad. The best shave I ever had was the barber shop back in Oregon where my father went to and his father went to before him, right? And it was so fantastic. They'd sit you down in this chair, the barber chair, in front of the big bay window that overlooked this street where everybody's walking by, and you could sit there and people watch, and they're talking politics and economy and all that stuff. And he sets this great big almanac down in your lap, so that you look like you're reading the almanac. But of course, inside the almanac is a Playboy magazine. And that was back when Playboy magazine had good articles to read. And of course, I didn't just read the articles. I'm not that asshole, but it did have good articles to read. And then he whips out that strap of leather and the straight razor, the straight edge razor, and he sharpens that thing on the leather, puts that hot towel on your face and neck, and then comes in with that like like powder cream fluffy thing and like puts the lather on. Oh my God, the works. The old school straight razor shave, closest shave I ever had. He was an amazing barber that did it. It was the best. It was the best. Never gonna have one like that again. That's a dying breed right there.
I have a straight razor. I have a strop. That thing is literally razor sharp. You know, I've got it down, but I don't trust myself to use it.
Yeah, I would
I've had
slit
it
my own
maybe
throat.
5 years. Yeah, I've never tried it.
I'd
Just
be like,
can't
hey,
listen to it.
hey, chat, I'm gonna try out this straight razor. I'll tell you all about it tomorrow, and then you never see me again.
Yep. 1-7 died.
Yep.
He committed suicide. No, I didn't. Fucker, I just couldn't shave with a straight blade.
Not to get morbid, but Gene Hackman just died. Did we ever find out why him and his wife and his dog were dead? They said it wasn't foul play.
I just saw something saying they think it is mildly suspicious because they did not find gas or anything. So
Really?
we will see. Because that's what I first assumed was like carbon monoxide. If it took out all 3 of them, that's
Yeah, I
What are the
figured
odds?
it happened,
That
something
sounds
like that. That's weird. Unless the.
I mean, I'm also getting my news from like Twitter and Facebook, so you
Yeah.
know, ignore me. But
And people are like, well, he was 95 years old. And I'm like, his wife was 60 and his dog was probably 12. Like, that's not a reason for all 3 of them to go at the same time. And
Even if
old
they
age
both
doesn't
die
kill in
in-
groups,
the odds of them
man.
both dying the same day is just
Yeah.
like,
He probably had enough of the wife and the dog. Probably little yappy ass dog and yappy ass wife, and he just said, "All right, I'm ready."
Yeah, but you take yourself out. You don't take them all out. Like, if you're gonna murder your wife, you don't murder suicide. You get rid of her and see if you can get away with it. Don't murder your wife, guys. That's terrible
I was gonna
advice.
say this is a dark conversation. We're gonna go full fucking Chris
But I'm
Benoit
just
on
saying,
this one.
like, it's like when
All
people
right.
want to commit suicide. And I'm like, why would, okay, if you're going to throw it away, think of all the amazing shit you could do if you don't care if you live through it, right?
Saying.
Go empty out a gun and go rob a bank. See if you get away with it.
If that was me, I'm gonna go out during a police chase. That's it, because they're gonna be following me for some of the really questionable stuff I've done before I start the shotgun. I'm gonna see what I can get away
Start
with.
a shotgun. So I wouldn't want to do
I mean,
a
I'm
police
sure
chase.
you're kidding, but a part of me is just like, don't do that to them. They don't need that trauma.
I would be worried I'd hurt somebody in a high speed chase. Like, I don't want to do anything that would hurt anybody else, but I would do some crazy shit if I was going to kill myself anyways.
It make a lot of sense. At least live before you die.
Yeah, live before you die, exactly.
On that note, I just had a wonderful nap, man. My house was
nice.
completely empty. The dogs shut the hell up for a while. And a 1 hour just lay down and rest my eyes turned into a 4-hour nap. And I woke up like, shit, I missed happy hour.
I was here for happy hour, and I was like, fuck, I missed it.
Yeah, I got stuck shoveling dirt today, and it ran long, and I wanted to get it done before the sun set. So I was just like, that's cool. I'll just, because we're already past an hour now, so I can just stay up all night, just chilling and talking video games and shit. Hotep, are
won't
you
have much to add,
smoking the same thing I'm smoking?
No, these are actually.
He's like,
some of
fuck
the
no,
fun-
I got the good stuff over here.
I'm trying one of the cognac dipped cigars.
Ooh, that sounds
for the first
nice.
time. Yeah, the money I saved from Marvel Strike Force, I bought cognac dipped and honey bourbon dipped, and I gotta say, the cognac isn't worth the money. I'm waiting for the honey bourbon dip, but this isn't. I
I think I lost my cherry on this one.
I'm waiting for Hotep to pull out the glass box with the humidifier.
It's not
that's
a glass
awesome.
box. It's right here. It's just a regular humidor.
Oh yeah,
I
just forgot
don't
what they
have
were
one of
called.
those. Yeah, I don't have one of those $6,000 huge freaking glass ones where the $300 a piece cigars sit. Hell no. I'm getting a cheap ass box that got the little tiny freaking humidifier in it. I'm doing it.
Hey,
the
if
cheap way.
it works the same way, you know.
Yep, exactly. But I don't have all of them put in there.
I'm always one for utility over the fancy stuff. It boggles the mind when I see people buy a pair of shoes for $8,000. Like,
Yeah, that's
it's like,
kinda nuts.
that's nuts, you know? The one time
There is a price point where it's worth it to go more expensive than cheap, but there's also a price point where it's like, now you're just giving them money for no reason.
right, yeah, like I want a cigar that tastes and smells good and is smooth. right? So I'm willing to pay a little bit more. But I'm not gonna go buy the Cohiba because it's ridiculously overpriced. I'd like to say that I smoked one once in my life. I've never have. And it's the same thing with like wine or beer. I was never interested in like the top shelf stuff, but when I would drink beer, I did like microbrews. I did like spending like $12 on a 6-pack rather than $6 on a 12-pack, you know?
Yeah, I've got you. Yeah, those cigars, they're I think Colombian alternative Cohibas or something like that. And I mean, they're not bad. I mean, they're nice and
No,
smooth.
they're very smooth. Yeah, it's a JR alternative to Cohiba Bahiki Leguato number 6 5-pack.
Yep.
And they're very delicious and smooth.
They're usually my go-to.
I keep trying to inhale, and I'm trying to really. I gotta like pay attention and focus. If I get talking while I smoke this thing, I end up sucking on it and like, oh my god.
Yep. Yeah, that's my problem when I switch to the little cigars because I inhale the little cigars. They're filtered, so
Did
it's
you ever-
not so bad.
Did you ever smoke like a menthol or anything?
Oh yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I went to menthol for a while too.
Yeah, I couldn't do it for too long. I mean, it always felt like my lungs were on fire. But I can't smoke regular cigarettes anymore. I smoke those filtered cigars, and I smoke those because they'll go out and I'll just have them in my hand and I won't notice. And even though it looks like I'm always smoking, I really don't smoke that much because they go out. It's kind of like the hand habit thing.
Right.
And I find myself when I smoke regular cigarettes now, they go so quick and they burn down so fast. I go through like 3 packs a day.
Well, they're designed to like everything in life now is designed to get burned up quick, so you got to buy them again, right? Like even toothpaste commercials, they show you putting like 10 times more toothpaste on the toothbrush than any person ever really would.
You don't need that much, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I could probably rub the backside of my toothpaste against the dirty toothpaste container and get enough toothpaste on there. You know?
Yeah, the whole family, they go through toothpaste really, really quick. I use the tooth powder and I just get the toothbrush wet and dip the toothbrush in there, and I mean it's great and it lasts a long time.
We got the tablets. Like you could just take those a lot more conservative than the toothpaste as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's New Uganda. I think that's the maker.
Oh wow, I never heard of tablets.
Yeah, you bite into it and then it immediately starts to turn into foam. You get your toothbrush wet and then that's it.
It's
I'd
like
be playing some jokes, man. He's rabid.
he's
put him
rabid.
down.
That's what I was thinking too. It sounds like a piece they'd use in the movies. So that was Little Nightmares 3. That reminds me of It Takes Two as well. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Come on, go to my wish list. Let's go down here to the bottom. Sunderfolk. Here's the one that this one looks kind of neat. I mean, a beautiful looking game, and it's set up like a tabletop kind of Dungeons and Dragons playthrough, and each player gets to use their cell phone to control their hand and their character. And I think it looks really neat. I wonder if you could do online play, because I'd love to play this with a bunch of people and stream it, and just like we're doing now, just chill, talk, play a little tabletop kind of game.
That'd be cool.
Wonder
You said it
if
works
it's-
with the phone. I
Yeah.
can do
It
a
looks-
phone toggle, man. I just can't do regular controls. If that's the phone, I might be able to have fun with that.
Have you ever heard of a game called Gloomhaven? It's a board game, not a video game.
Yes, I've heard of it. I've heard the
It
name before.
looks-
I don't know anything about it.
It looks well. It's like a dungeon crawler D&D.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term. Like it's an RPG game, but it's rules based as opposed to D&D where you kind of just make shit up as you go. And this looks kind of like a video game version of that, which is kind of amazing because the worst thing about Gloomhaven is the setup and takedown at the end of the day.
Well, that was my problem with Dungeons and Dragons, is that I would play it and I would be like, they have video games that do all the work for me. Why am I doing this? Why am I drawing pictures and making shit up and counting all these numbers when I could just be playing like an Elder Scrolls kind of game or something that's calculating everything instantaneously for me?
The nice thing about
You guys
Dungeons and
ever
Dragons,
played,
from the little bit that I've played it, is you just go to a buddy's house, have a couple of beers, and just bullshit for the night.
Absolutely.
Like,
It's the social
my
experience.
favorite part of it is like making the DM go like, and look through the book to try and find an answer to your question that he did not anticipate.
And if you have a good dungeon master, it makes the game. That's what makes the game, is a good dungeon master. I played one time where we got in costume and everything, and that was the funnest time I ever played Dungeons and Dragons. Unfortunately, that was one night, and we never played it again with that group. But that was a lot of fun. Everybody really got into it. When it was your turn, you had to be in character, and it was a lot of fun to do that. That's what makes Dungeons and Dragons good for me. But if you're not really getting into it and really taking the extra steps, then it's just a painstakingly long tabletop game.
Yeah.
I have never played
We
Dungeons
have
and Dragons.
virtual tabletop games now where everything's done, the dice roll, etc. It's all the calculations is done for the dungeon master and the players, and you can play Dungeons and Dragons. Because the real appeal of Dungeons and Dragons, at least paper and pencil, was the problem solving. It wasn't just hack and slash. It was, okay, I'm gonna run this way, and I'm gonna see if I can fly here and do this. Where in a video game, you basically are set, what you can do, right?
Yeah, the D&D allows you to be very creative and invent new stuff. Like you can invent a new character right on the spot, and you can give it stats and build it, and now you have a new boss to fight or something. It's kind of cool.
I kind of wish I got into those.
For different people, like one guy's not really into a fighter, even though he's all decked out like a fighter, but he's a pacifist. Or you can put those little twists in it that are more personal than a video game.
Yeah, you could create a character, and then before you go in, you give them each weird traits that handicaps them in weird ways. Like you said, like have a fighter, but then you make them blind or something, and so they have to rely on some sort of other skill set. It's kind of interesting.
That would be kind of cool. I mean, can you just make it up yourself, or do you have to follow a assigned set of rules? Like, can you say, I have this huge 10-foot ogre, but he's got a strong hand?
I mean, it's with D&D, it's whatever you want to do. It's whatever you want to do.
That'd be pretty awesome.
But the more creative you get, the more you have to take the time to build out the stats of the character, set up rules before you put that character into play, and it takes a long time.
See, when I was
Generally speaking, there are some like in-universe rules for what things are. But again, if you're playing with a good group, you can let your imagination kind of run wild.
Yeah, you can't go in with like Superman and be able to do everything. There's got to be some kind of game balance.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't want to be Superman. I'd have some kind of deal like, I'd have a warrior, but he walks with a limp or something. He has to have a special shoe. I don't know. But it would be funny. I would enjoy it.
This game is called Toilet Chronicles for $2.
I was going to say, what on earth are you looking at? I've been playing, so I say D&D because everybody knows what that is, but technically I've been playing a Warhammer version of it with a couple of buddies. And it's brutal. There's no magic no magic weapons or anything. We are all essentially like farmers just trying to survive, and it's just awful. I was like, can I get a magical sword? He's like, no, they don't exist. I'm like, what do you mean they don't exist? What is this? I can be a farmer in real life. This sucks.
Speaking of that, why is Farm Simulator and Goat Simulator such popular games?
Okay, those are two very different games, because Farm Simulator is actually a simulator, and Goat Simulator is like Tony Hawk, but you're a goat.
Yeah,
what the shit is happening in this game?
I don't know.
It's pretty wild.
This looks weird.
I'm seeing
Goat
some head
Simulator
tentacles.
2. Man, I can't get my boys to stop playing that game.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't understand Farm Simulator. I could have been a farmer if I wanted to, and I did not want to be a farmer. So I don't understand why people. The other one is a Trucker Simulator, and I'm like, no, I was a trucker for 22 years. I do not want to simulate that shit.
Yeah,
the only reason I would play that game is to see how badly they got the simulation, how badly wrong it was.
A game called Power Washer Simulator, where you just take a power washer and you clean stuff places, and it's very zen.
Yes,
very satisfying.
My son plays that, except he doesn't like to do smooth straight lines, and it drives me nuts. My OCD takes over, and I'm like, just give me the controls. Let me clean the car. And then I'm like, why are we doing this? I'll take you out to the driveway. You can clean the freaking driveway. And I take
Which
him
is
out,
also
give him the
satisfying.
pressure washer, and then of course he does all these weird circles in the driveway. And an hour later, I'm out there pressure washing my driveway. Oh, there it is,
Yeah,
power washer right there. There it is, yeah.
Yeah, that for Christmas, I asked my 6-year-old. We're just going through, and he loves going to Dollar Tree or Family Dollar, one of those things, because he can get the real cheap toys and everything. And I said, all right, for stocking stuffers, little gifts and stuff, go through here and make a list, make what you want. And he found this cleaning kit, just had like a broom, of just a play freaking mopping cleaning kit. He goes, I want this. And I looked at him, I said, why in the hell do you want this? We have the real stuff at home. You can actually help clean. He said,
Right.
yeah, but that's not playing.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you suck, dude. I mean,
Your
I
achievement will be the
understand
$5 I give you. Go clean.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. I'll tell you what, clean your damn room, then I'll give you the $5, then you can get the fake stuff. See how real the life it is.
We'll make it multiplayer. Compete against your brother. High score gets the prize.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I wish
I
that
bought
worked.
get you a hell of a lot of Fabuloso all-purpose cleaner at the dollar store. Let me tell you.
Fabuloso's
I
good. Fabuloso's good.
Yeah, I've got that big concentrated bottle of Fabuloso. We keep that
Ron,
on
I didn't
hand.
know you had a Lethal Company. I see it's in your library, sir.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
in the
it was his wish
library.
list, wasn't it?
I see it.
It's I think it's in my library. Lethal Company. I think it's in here under L. You scroll way down here.
I'm waiting to get through the library and see. who has,
No,
like,
I don't have it. I don't have
I was
it
gonna
in
say, I
here.
thought it was in your wish list.
Maybe it's in the wish list. Is it? It probably is. I don't know. There's so much stuff
It
in
might
here.
be.
Yeah, Lethal Company. It's in the wish list for $10.
It's like it's $10 game. It's pretty cheap.
I don't. I'd be worried about showing something that I really shouldn't be showing. I'm waiting for Run to pop up through his library and see like Porn Star Simulator or some junk like that.
Where can I find that?
Yeah, I'm saying.
Sivishan, your son's the reason my son played the washer simulator game.
There was a game in Steam. I guess I just assumed that Steam would have some sort of filters. And it was like
There's a
you
filter
played as
for
a
it.
naked witch shooting other like giant naked witches, and I'm just like, okay.
Oh.
Didn't anticipate seeing that. Thank goodness we're not streaming.
Ask Baka, he'll tell you about all of them.
That's a
was
game
that?
that I should be playing this weekend.
Baka, he knows all of those purient adult-themed games.
It's like I was saying with Valley Flying, I mean, you really shouldn't, when you're married, you really shouldn't be playing a game that if she walks in, what are you doing? I'm working, I swear.
Yeah.
A naked witch game would work perfect. I'm all alone, and it's kind of quiet. It's a little bit eerie, but it's fun.
Do you remember when Valley played that one dating simulator and he didn't know what it was exactly?
No.
No.
Clip of that? That sounds funny.
Yeah, Baka has a capture of it.
That's really funny. I could just picture, what do you do for a living? And just Valley talking to it. It's like, well, I do jujitsu tournaments and I like long walks on the beach. That would be hilarious to watch.
League of
I
Legends
honestly, I
Swarm was the game
debated
I
for a
tried
little
to-
while doing one of those like AI girlfriends and just being like, let's do that for one stream, see what happens.
That would be really good to stream. It really would. See if you could turn off an AI girlfriend. See if you could get an AI girlfriend to get up and walk.
Wouldn't even be hard, my friend.
I'm
Wouldn't
pretty
even be
sure
hard for me.
all you do is you don't pay the transaction fees, and they never get there. They never get there. That's all it is.
Man, I wish I could do that in real life.
Oh man, I bought that Toilet Chronicles because it's like an hour. I'm like, that'll be fun on a Saturday morning sometime. I didn't even see how big it was before it was fully downloaded. It's got to be tiny.
Yeah, it's a $2 game, so it can't be much. All right,
Yeah.
I'm playing as Hotep in Buckshot Roulette here. Let me get my scorecard counter here.
Oh, you're actually playing that. Am I still a record holder?
Only a 12 gauge shell can itch.
I think so, yeah. I think that you killed... Wait, no. Wapo beat your score because you killed yourself in 3 pulls of the trigger. Wapo killed himself in 2 pulls of the trigger and then took a pill and lost. And the pill killed him.
Fucking Wapo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we took care of Wapo fast. I mean, that was all chat. Do this, bang. Well, shit. Do this. Well, rest in peace, Wapo.
All right, it's 4-4 in the gun. Hotep's up at the plate. Obviously, we're going to take a magnifying glass to see what's in it. It's a live round.
I just realized it's 11:30. I'm gonna bow out. I got an early morning. So
Later,
cheers,
man.
gentlemen.
Have fun.
will
All
see you
right,
in the
man. We'll
future.
see you in the morning.
Bye, anybody.
Detroit Human was a good game. I never played it. I've heard a lot of people say that they enjoyed Detroit Human. All right, what's he going for? The phone, and he's going to handcuff me because he doesn't know what's the next round is. You sucker, but he gets another shot, though.
Yeah, Bubba plays mind games. You know, that handcuff hits a little too close to home about you picking on me this morning. I'm
really?
always finding myself in handcuffs.
Oh, wow, dealer killed himself. Just like that. Well, that was easy first round for Hotep.
Nice.
Bubba, do you use matches or a lighter for your cigars?
A lighter, but it's actually a pretty cool lighter. It starts as a windproof, but then the flame comes out of the top of the revolver.
Oh,
you
that's
can get the
badass.
round even burn.
Wow, look at that. We got a professional in the house. Got an adrenaline steel, another steel, cell phone, polarity switcher, smokes.
I just want a copy of Monster Hunter Wilds. Let's go.
Is that a game that just came out or something? Because I
It
keep
just
hearing
came out.
about it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm gonna thank this person.
You got a free copy of
shit.
Monster Hunter Wild?
Yeah, just now. I think she's still from Pumpkin Pie. So let me go over to her stream real quick.
Oh, nice, nice. Let's take a look at the cell phone and see what's in the gun. We got 3 live rounds, 4 blanks. The 6th shell is a live round. Okay, that doesn't do me much good. 6th shell is a live round. I'm gonna lose track. I don't know. We got 3 live ones, 4 blanks. We're gonna shoot Hotep in the face. It's got to be a blank, right? We'll find out. I guess we could have stole a cell phone, but oh well. Oh, Bubba, you just got shot in the face.
It's all right. I look the same.
All right, dealer's gonna take a look at his cell phone and see what's coming up. I didn't spend all the time that the game needed, those different outcomes, but it was still amazing game even with 1 playthrough. Oh, he got lucky there. So we lost a live round, we lost a blank round. It's gonna be 2 and 3 in the gun. And was he taking a polarity switcher? Oh, he just used a blank round to shoot us, and you're dead.
Oh, that dirty
That
bird.
was it. You crushed him in round 1, he crushed you in round 2. That was it.
That's the way it goes.
Well, at least you made it to round 2. That's better than Dan.
Well, Dan's Canadian. We
Hold
don't hold it
escape
against
to
him.
exit? You got to hold escape? Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know you had to hold it. Oh, man.
I'm interested to see if anybody will beat Wapo. You can't really beat Wapo, can you?
I don't know
Unless
how.
there's somehow,
See,
like,
the game does do a random amount of health in the beginning. So if you were to start with 2, shoot yourself and then take a pill, you could be Wapo that way by dying faster.
that's kind of a sorry record to hold.
Eh.
Fast as death in buckshot roulette.
I mean,
Ooh, let's go.
We barely ever beat the dealer all 3 rounds. Rarely does, like, I think Rolf Kieran went double or nothing and then bowed out and won $20. You know, 10,
really?
10 and then it doubled to 20.
Yeah, I watched 2 of them and he was on a roll. I didn't know what happened at the very end.
Yeah, I can't pay
was
attention to the
doing
score
great.
though and play that game.
Even he had that mentality. He's like, well, shit, life is fleeting. Go ahead, shoot me in the face.
Right,
It was
yeah.
great watching his responses.
So Hotep, you did an amazing job covering Anchorman 2 the other day. I was watching most of that.
Oh man, I appreciate that.
I
Thank you.
had to put my phone down a couple times because we were either driving or walking through the parking lot or something like that. But you did a nice job covering that. You gave it a
I
better
really
score than
appreciate
most
that.
of those guys did, didn't you? Like 37 or something. They were like coming in 32 and 33 or something.
I gave it a 32. I think Will gave it 33, so he beat me by 1.
Okay.
But yeah, it was fresh, and I hadn't seen the original Anchorman in so long. I think that's why I gave it a higher score than I probably should have.
Yeah, and I gave that a 27. I did not enjoy that movie at all. That was a I was pissed I had to sit through the whole damn thing.
Yeah,
Like
I
the
really
first
didn't
thing in
enjoy it. I told Dan when he asked me about it, I said, all right, I've got a little bit of time, you know, I can watch this. And then he sent something else. And when I got done, I'm like, all right, I just finished it. I'm on my way to go bleach my eyeballs now. Thanks for asking me for this movie.
Yeah. If there was a movie that I kind of had to bow out of, that was the best one for me to pick.
Yeah, that was the inside joke. It's like, yeah, he had nothing going on at all. He just didn't want to watch this trash.
Yeah, even though I gave worse scores, I think, to Highlander movies, at least the enjoyment level was higher for some of those. They just had really bad everything else kind of scores that brought down their overall score. But this one, the fun, like literally, it was just the scene with Brick and his girlfriend, not the red. Like you guys were like, well, Brick was a terrible character in the movie. He was terrible in the movie. You're right. But the scene where him and his girlfriend are just talking stupid to each other, those were kind of funny. But like I said, it was just them trying not to break character as they said the dumbest things they could think of.
Yep. I didn't even like that. I liked the really offbeat, the side character comments that are just, you could tell were ad-libbed, you know, that just
I will put you in the closet.
Yes,
Yeah.
That, and when she's telling Liz or whatever her name is, she goes, if you touch Ron again, I'll shoot you in the cooch with a BB gun. That I wasn't expecting that, and that got me laughing. You know, and that's the only reason I even gave it a 33. There was one line that Will Ferrell had that I liked, that I thought was ad-libbed and not like really overdone, when he's talking about the Dolphins, and he was like, yeah, so-and-so is a rehabilitation and who is an asshole. That got me funny because I didn't expect that. That was really the last laugh that I had, was the SeaWorld scene. That was it. All the rest of it, it just went from, man, why am I watching this, to this is really sad. I don't want to be watching this.
Yeah. Seth Frusciante was Anchorman and then Anchorman 2. Anchorman 2 was atrocious for me. They just seemed to do the same jokes as the first one. And they had the awesome line of the news media being sensationalized as entertainment rather than actual news. And I was like, they could go somewhere with that plot line. And of course they didn't. So yeah, it was a bummer. And so
now, I remember this movie. I can't remember. It might have actually happened on Anchorman 2, and I dozed off during it. But there was a scene, they were making up the news, and in this movie they had like a potted fern behind them, and dude got like a old World War II helmet, and they were creating a war somewhere in like Western Europe or something, and it was all completely made up, and they were just pretending to be on-scene correspondents, and they had sound effects of like bombing and guns and stuff. I can't remember if it was a scene in that movie, but I remember a movie doing that, and I thought it was pretty humorous.
Yeah, we're gonna be going over Venom next. Going to Venom, and I've seen Venom 1 and 2. I haven't seen The Last Dance or whatever it's called.
3 was the best one for me. I enjoyed 3. I didn't mind 1. I wasn't a fan of 2, but 3 I liked it. I think it was the best.
And see, I was the other way around.
I didn't rush because 2 had a great cast, and it just fell on its freaking face.
Yeah, I don't see how you get, a star of Natural Born Killers to flop with I can't remember his name, with Carnage.
With Carnage,
with Cletus Cassidy. I don't see how you get Woody Harrelson to flop.
His character was too comical. He didn't take a serious approach to the role, it seemed like. But I don't even know if that was his fault. I
think it was the writing.
I'm finding most of the time that it is the writing. It is the writing and the directing that causes the problems with these. I think Will was saying, an actor can only take whatever they have and move it like a half a notch higher. If it's an A, they can make it an A+. If it's a C, they can make it a C+. If it's a B- movie, they can bring it up to a B. But for the
unless you're God, what the hell is his name? Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a Cruise fan. I'm not a Cruise fan.
He switches everything. Like if he doesn't like it, he'll switch everything.
Oh, he has the clout to like change the lines and stuff.
Yeah, I've heard some whacked out stuff about Tom Cruise and John Travolta in the Church of Scientology. They literally have no connection with the outside world. They're surrounded by their worshipers that treat them more or less like gods. They're just
And how would you know? How would you know anything about it? The Scientology keeps everything so hush hush until you pay money to move up their ranks or whatever. Or that's what I hear. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that Leah Remini came out and said a whole bunch of stuff about Scientology because they were pretty much like flaming her and destroying her and her career. So I think she had like a big thing on A&E about it.
Yeah.
Like revealing Scientology or breaking Scientology or something like that.
Well, that was something with what was that guy from that '70s show, and he got flamed and he's in jail. You know, he was
Danny Masterson.
Yeah, he was a Scientology dude.
Yeah,
and it was hush hush because they were all like of that faith, whatever.
Yeah, and I hated that because The Ranch was one of my favorite shows on Netflix.
Yeah, I didn't get into The Ranch. I tried it. It just didn't stick for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm a huge Sam Elliott fan. I love Sam Elliott. So just about anything he does, I like it.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the Sam Elliott. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Sam Elliott.
Made it. You know, Rooster was hilarious on that. You know, I didn't like Ashton Kutcher, but I liked the character of Rooster. He was funny. You know, and then they bring in Dax Shepard because of all of that stuff with Danny Masterson and kill him off or something where he rode his motorcycle off a cliff or junk like that. You know, I don't like Dax Shepard very much. I didn't come up in the era of Dax Shepard and Dane Cook and just that weird humor.
I like Dax Shepard from, I think it was Parenthood. I really liked him in Parenthood. What's up, Obi Debs? We're in the Discord. You want to jump in, buddy? Yeah, I like Dax Shepard from Parenthood, but I think the whole show of Parenthood is what really kept that for me. It was the entire cast and the topics and everything, because I started watching that as a young parent myself and going through a lot of the stuff that they were dealing with, you know? And so that show really hit home.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Parenthood. I'm not sure. I don't think I have.
It's all right. It's not for everybody. It's something that you probably watch with the wife. It's a little bit more serious, a little more dramatic than most.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, that's probably why I haven't watched it. I don't really, if I'm watching dramas, they're action dramas like Chicago PD or
something like that.
Yeah. A little bit ticked off that they did Blue Bloods so dirty. I love Blue Bloods.
My father was a big Blue Bloods fan. Have you guys been watching the new 1923? I think it is.
Did it start yet?
The second season started. I caught the first episode of that, and I was like, "Whoa!" They did not pull any punches. They did some things, and I was like, "Wow, this is hard to watch." Like it was
nice.
brutal.
I've been waiting for that. I saw that it was coming back. I haven't started the third season of Reacher yet because I want to be able to binge all of it. Just watch 5-6 episodes at once, and I think it was on like 3 episodes. And I saw the 1923 coming back, but I didn't see a date for it.
Got Harrison Ford.
Yep, Harrison Ford just came back this last week. Landman was great. Yeah, After Dark. I'm a big fan of Landman. That show is really good.
I couldn't get past the opening scene where Billy Bob was tied up and had the bag over his head, and then he kind of talked himself out of it, and it went by too slow for me.
Oh, really?
So
I love that scene because he's like he's talking to those drug dealers, those cartel drug dealers, and he's got the bag over his head the entire sequence. He's doing it with the bag over his head. And at the end, he gets himself out of it and he climbs into his truck and he's like, I do 2 things. I secure the lease and then I keep the people happy. The first one's the easy one. And that's what he just went through. You just saw him secure the lease from these drug dealers with a bag over his head. They're murdering people right in front of him, punching him and beating him up and everything. And he secures the paperwork from them. And he says, that's the easy part. And I was just like, this is great. And the show, I don't know, it's funny. And then seeing him as a father and the shit his daughter does to him is hilarious. Oh my God, the look on his face and everything.
I might give it another go then here tonight, but I don't know. I can't do every time I see Billy Bob, I think of Sling Blade and I get a very bewildered look on my face, like how the hell did he bag Angelina Jolie? And I can't get past that no matter how many Billy Bob movies I watch.
And he's got a smoking hot wife in the show, and it doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is. I think of it more as a bad Santa character, but they tone it down a little bit and make him more realistic and relatable. But he's kind of the bad Santa character, but with a little bit more conscience.
I might give it another go.
I think it was great.
I watched Ozark. Well, I watched the first season of Ozark, and I really liked it.
Ozark was fun. I like that too.
Yeah, it's a little bit close to home because I mean I'm right up in that area in the foothills of the Ozark, and they pretty much hit the nail on the head, you know, with a lot of that stuff. And I was waiting for season 2, and then it just took so long to come out, I lost interest with it. But I liked the first season.
I think it's still on Netflix, and it was Hannibal. I don't know if you guys have seen that series. I think there's 3 or 4 seasons.
Didn't like the ending of it, but I loved the show.
Sufushan,
it's kind of a mixed ending. I
never liked Jim Caviezel. Still don't like Jim Caviezel. He annoys the crap out of me.
Yeah, I don't even know if you saw he gave an interview about the
Passion of the Christ or whatever. Oh
yeah, the new movie that he did with like the trafficking and stuff like that. I can't remember what the name of it is.
If it's got Jim Caviezel in it, I don't even bother watching anymore. I never enjoy his movies.
I didn't enjoy it. They had there was a big movement behind it, you know, because I had to deal with child abduction and coming over the border and you know all that stuff. But I watched an interview where he was talking about it. And he was so dry. I mean, it really looked like he was drugged and programmed. And he was supposed to be really super excited. He said things that should have had a tone of excitement behind him.
But he's so monotone.
Yeah, he was just so monotone. It's like, man, dude really doesn't want to be here. He's reading from a teleprompter. This is terrible. You know, and I think his acting is like that for literally everything. You know, even the what is it? The Thin, I can't remember. I don't think it's The Thin Red Line. Whatever military movie he was in.
I don't think it's The Thin Red Line. For some reason, I associate that with him too, but I don't think that was it. I don't remember.
No, I can't remember the name. Every time I hear Thin Red Line, I think it's supposed to be a firefighter movie. But I mean, but I think it was the war movie. It's when he went AWOL onto an island and he was really happy and then he was really sad because back into fighting. And it had him in it, you know, and he just did a terrible job. He brought down the whole movie. But that's just me.
It is The Thin Red Line.
See, I keep thinking of a firefighter movie because they have that flag, the Thin Red Line.
It's The Thin Red Line, yeah. Yeah, it's the Thin Red Line.
It's a shame because I am a huge fan of like war military movies and stuff, and that movie was good. It was really good.
What's your favorite military movie or show?
Well, show. I mean, I can't really. There's a big difference. I got into Navy SEALs, you know, here this last few seasons, but
the movie that got it right is The Lone Survivor. That's how.
I like Lone Survivor. I don't like Mark Wahlberg, but my favorite movie.
The firefight sequences.
Yep. And where he showed his fear, you know, at the very end, where he's actually not a big badass. He's actually really scared and almost to the point of tears and thanking the villager and stuff. I mean, that's how I would see it. But my favorite war movie is We Were Soldiers. I'd probably watch that movie 30 times.
We Were Soldiers is good. I was always a big fan of Band of Brothers.
Band of Brothers is nice. Yeah, I like watching that. It's so long. I mean, I've got to do it on a weekend. You know, We Were Soldiers, they just pop on.
I didn't like the Pacific as much as Band of Brothers. I enjoyed watching the Pacific like 1, maybe 2 times. I'll go back to it or something like that. But Band of Brothers for me is one of those, I can watch that. Like if it's on, I'll just sit and watch it for an hour, whatever episode it's on or something. The Great Escape The Great Escape, the old one was a good one. I enjoyed The Great Escape.
yeah.
Platoon was hard
Yep.
for me to get through.
Love The Great Escape. Platoon was okay for me. I think in that genre of like Platoon, Hamburger Hill, I liked the Casualties of War better. Sean Penn, Michael J. Fox. I mean, I liked that type, but I enjoy Platoon. There's a series out.
Full Metal Jacket. I made my wife watch Full Metal Jacket. She's like, "Why would you make me watch this?" I'm like, "It's 3 movies in one, right? It's the boot camp is a movie. It's them in the war, right? Going through the towns and everything. And then it's the third sequence when they're actually fighting the sniper and they break out in the Mickey Mouse song at the end. It's like almost 3 different movies all mashed into one.
Yeah, and I mean that was a cinematic masterpiece. I mean, I loved Full Metal Jacket. I liked a movie called Tigerland with
Tigerland's good.
Colin Farrell.
I haven't seen Masters of the Air. I'll have to put that on my
I haven't
list.
heard of it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up. I haven't heard of it. I'm looking for good movies and stuff. I'm kind of taking a break. I had to build a sectional sofa, and I don't recommend it. If you want to buy furniture, don't buy IKEA shit from Amazon.
I was gonna say you fabricated it yourself, but yeah, IKEA. I had my fill with IKEA furniture. My wife bought me a bunch of IKEA furniture, and then said, "I need you to assemble all of this," and then left. And I was pretty sure she wanted to divorce me, because that's why else would you put someone through that?
The arm of the sofa literally went flying against the room and hit the door. I was done with it. I mean, I was just pissed off. I couldn't get the freaking thing to fit in there. But it's not great quality, man. I spent $1,200 because I had a sofa a long time ago. I love that sofa. I've been looking almost 20 years for the sofa, and I found it on Amazon. I said, okay, we're buying this. We're getting rid of the furniture and everything. And the picture looked like it was like 14-inch cushions, and it looked exactly like the sofa that I had years ago. And I get it, and it's like 6-inch cushions, and it's pretty
garbage.
Yeah, it's just trash.
I'm not impressed with IKEA furniture. I went through the IKEA store a couple of times now, even to go there to eat and have their meatballs and macaroni and stuff. Like, I'm just not impressed. I don't understand what the draw is. I think their furniture is garbage, and I think it's overpriced most of the time. Sivushan, Jamie Lee Curtis from Liar, what is it, True Lies? Oh my God, when she does the striptease in True Lies, wow, she gets me going too. But I believe there is a new Scream Queen. At least there is one scene where there's a new girl that outdid it, and that is in Alien Romulus, when the chest burster pops out of the Nomi girl or whatever, and the pregnant chick is holding her in her arms, and the music cuts out and she screams. I think that is the best movie scream I've heard in a decade. It was amazing.
It was great. It's good. And you can't even figure out, I've never been that scared to have a primal blood-curdling scream. So when you hear one like that, you could just imagine the terror and the fright.
Oh, it gives me goosebumps just talking about it. Just talking about it gives me goosebumps. So.
He's saying, show the scene.
I think he's talking about the Jamie Lee Curtis scene is what he wants to see.
Oh, well, I mean, I'd rather see that scene.
Yeah, me too.
If we're getting onto it. But yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis, those Activia commercials, phew, really gets me going every time. Knowing a chick is regular and hot, it just can't get past it.
True Lies dance scene. I type in True Lies and dance scene is at the very top of the list. And we all know what we want.
We
all know what we want here. Yeah.
That's just great.
I was really hoping to say that you viewed it already.
Well, I mean, I have, but this is just a different one. This is somebody recording their TV screen. That's not even like this. It's a recording. You can see the TV's like floating in the shot.
It's got to be a teenager. That has to be a teenager. It's got to be like a 13-year-old boy, and he grabs his smartphone. This is awesome.
So I don't mind. Ooh, wow, look at this one. Jamie Lee Curtis, rare photos, untold life story. Wow, 11 minutes of her doing some really interesting shots there. Keanu Reeves. So, started paying attention to Keanu Reeves after The Matrix. Seen most of his work, but after The Matrix, I was like, wow, But then I realized he just did an okay job in a really great movie that couldn't follow itself up with sequels. And John Wick is an amazing series of movies. John Wick 1 and the continuation of John Wick 1 into 2, 3, and 4, which is the same freaking movie. They just keep him going. I love...
It's so enjoyable.
Yes, I love watching the John Wick movies. They're very fun to watch. The choreography and the fight scenes is what really does it for me in John Wick. And I appreciate that Keanu Reeves put so much effort into those choreographed battle scenes. And that's why I like him. Is the movie great? I don't know. We need to probably put that on the list and go through the John Wick films. I think that franchise would probably rate pretty high on our list, actually, because I don't think 2, 3, or 4 would actually drag the franchise down much.
Well, is it just me that Keanu Reeves didn't do a very good job on his lines in John Wick 4? You know, he had very few.
I think 4 might have been the weak point where they really just focused on gunplay and fight scenes and car chases and stuff.
Yeah, which was enough for me.
That's what I went there for anyways, right? Yeah, I don't like...
Just when you heard him talking and he was like, yeah, you know, and all that's like, he really kind of... He spent more time learning the action scenes than he really did learning his line practicing.
I don't like Keanu Reeves as an actor. I think he's pretty terrible, honestly.
Yeah, I'm about the same way. I think he's a better human being. I think he's a better humanitarian in real life than he is an actor. But the movies that he lands, you know, Speed was great. Speed 2, he was smart enough not to take it.
Right.
You know, Point Break, fantastic. I really liked this character in Parenthood.
Man, they really did a crap job in the remake of Point Break.
Oh, yeah.
That was such a horrible... They had great ideas, but what terrible execution and writing. It was so horrible. The Beekeeper with Jason Statham, is it good? I like Jason Statham movies. They're super dumb, but I enjoy them for the car scenes and the choreography and stuff.
Sandor means I hate all movies. I don't know. I mean, he's just, you could kind of, he's kind of cut and paste.
He becomes a caricature of himself in whatever movie he kind of does. Like, he plays the same thing. I was actually happy with the fourth installment of The Matrix, The Matrix Remastered or whatever they call that. I don't remember. I was pleasantly surprised. I went in with such an incredibly low bar, though, and then it came out, and I was like, "Oh, that's all right." Plus, I think I was really stoned when I saw it too, so that might play into effect.
There you go.
I don't know.
The thing with Keanu is, like, I don't mind seeing him play the same character, but when I see freaking characters like, you know, Dwayne Johnson or Kevin Hart play the same character, I can't.
Well, same thing with Will Ferrell. He plays the same character over and over. You can insert Will Ferrell into any movie, and he's playing the same character.
Yep, I brought that up last night. I say, yep, same character, just obnoxious and stupid, and every one of them.
I actually heard that. I heard The Beekeeper was actually really good. I should probably check it out.
The Beekeeper is good. I like it. It's really weak on storyline, on plot, or anything like that. I mean, it tells it to you and it says, all right, this is what it is. Now you know the history of it. Go in and watch him kick some people's asses, which I appreciated a lot. And I'm hoping his new movie, A Working Man, is going to do that too. It looks really good.
The planets are aligned tonight? How did I miss that? How did I miss the planets being aligned tonight? Planets align. Let's check it out. It says, what time should you see the planetary parade on Friday? After dusk on Friday night, 7 planets are expected to align in the night sky, but you'll need binoculars or a telescope to see them all, which I don't own any of those anymore. It's unfortunate. Mercury falls into line where 7 planet alignment. That's neat.
That's pretty crazy.
I normally keep up on stuff like that. That's cool. Thank you for letting me know. I probably won't bother even looking up in the sky as I walk out of the studio.
Yeah,
all 9 planets, Sandor says. Sandor, somebody says that there's a 9th planet, and they're not talking Pluto. Somebody was telling me that they think that there is an actual 9th planet now, or somebody that they really do believe there's a 9th one out there. Which I don't know how they don't find that.
Uranus is so big, it's 2 planets. Sorry. Every time we talk space, I
Can't
not
help but make a Uranus joke, eh?
I can't do it. I always have to make a Uranus joke. But the last time it was like 9 planets, like 2012, because people were throwing a fit about that. It was lined with the dark rift of the Milky Way, and that was going to destroy us all or some junk.
Yeah, I was looking into the whole Pluto thing, and the scientists are right in downgrading it. It never should have been a planet in the first place. The whole reason Pluto was found is because they thought there was an issue with Uranus's alignment, and they calculated that there had to be a 9th planet, and then they found Pluto, and they're like, that's why. Come to find out, the calculations on Uranus's alignment, there was an issue with the telescope that made the original calculations, and when they accounted for that, Uranus is exactly where it should be, and there's no reason for a 9th planet to actually be out there, and Pluto doesn't even affect Uranus's orbit.
Well, see, I thought they were saying something about with Uranus being knocked on its side like that, and with that alignment, I didn't learn anything. But just the way that certain things are, that there was some kind of elliptical 10th planet that comes in every, I guess that planet X Nibiru crap, comes in, that all of the scars going across Mercury and or Mars and all of that junk, it's the 10th planet comes in and brings in a whole bunch of debris and stuff with it, and asteroids pummel everything and turn planets on their side and all that stuff. I mean, that might not be scientific at all. It could just be a whole bunch of conspiracy theorists just talking a bunch of smack. But
I only get all of my spatial science from Neil deGrasse Tyson now. As a rule, I only listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson, because why else would you want to listen to anyone else's voice? I don't care whether he's qualified or not. I specifically just watch him. Well, honestly, he does a great job of explaining things, and I think he actually does, relate it well. I don't know if he deserves the hype that is out there, but I do actually listen to Neil a lot.
And it's kind of like, it's smart, but it's more of in layman's terms where you're like, okay, I get it.
yeah.
Yep. He knows how to give a TED talk. I don't know if he knows how to find a planet in outer space, but he knows how to give a TED talk, so I'll listen to him talk about it.
I think he's like the press secretary of astrophysicists.
Something, yeah.
You're personable. You could be the Barry White of astrophysics.
Yeah, no, I used to really pay attention to who did Cosmos. Who's the other guy?
Carl Sagan.
Yeah, Sagan. I read Sagan books, and I was all about Carl Sagan for the longest time. What's up, Rolf Kieran? Neil is the Coco Melon of astronomy. There you go. That's true. That's accurate. That's great. I don't know. I don't agree with a whole lot of the stuff that he says, but who am I to argue? I mean, literally, who am I to argue? He's got, I don't know how many degrees or anything, so it's, I prefer to him. I know, because I follow a lot of those guys. Yeah, I do too, Reeves. I used to really be into cosmology, and I went to college and took classes on astrophysics and stuff, and really got into it for a while, and then just kind of fell away from it. It's still very interesting to me, but I'm more of a sci-fi nerd than the hard science of it. It just took too much time to keep up with it, because that science changes. It changes pretty rapidly, and they're always figuring out new stuff and changing what the cosmic fabric is these days. Yeah,
I've always just kept my ear to the ground and listened to things. I mean, I didn't get into it near as much as you.
I think one of the last times that I was really paying attention to science, and I was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna step back from it, was when they found the Bose particle. Yep. And they're like, it's gonna be here or it's gonna be here, but we know it exists. Where's it gonna be? And they finally found it, and guess where it is? It's here. Right? They find it in the middle of this weird spectrum, and they're like, well, that's the boson. That's it right there. And I'm like, you guys And you guys are trying to take credit for this shit. It's not anywhere near where you said it was. I mean, you found it exists, you calculated it exists, but it wasn't anywhere where you thought it was going to be.
Yep.
So, and I was kind of like, I need to step back from you nerds.
And the way that I figure is, okay, yeah, that's a god particle, and that's the sun, and that's to be, you know, included in the most primordial subatomic particles and everything like that. But who knows? You know, I mean, they're telling us a whole bunch of stuff, and we're just like, oh, okay. You know, we don't know what it does unless they tell us what it does. We don't know what it can do unless they tell us what it can do. And
right.
If they're not sure themselves, you know, then how in the hell are we supposed to know, type thing. So I haven't held that much of an interest in it, because to me it's almost like kids, you know, making something up. You know, hey Papa, I'm a pirate, you know, and I'm a space pirate. Okay, buddy, you're a space pirate. That's the way that I kind of look at it. You know, it's when they have an amazing breakthrough and they thank the boson particle for it, then I'll say, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. But until that, I don't know what it does, so I'm not interested.
It's supposed to be the thing that is, in effect, what gravity is. It's the particle that attaches itself to the field of gravity and gives us the pull of gravity.
I gotcha.
But yet they also talk about higher dimensional space, and that maybe gravity is a particle that travels through higher dimensional space, and that's why gravity is so weak compared to like the strong nuclear force that holds every little thing together, where gravity takes so much mass to produce the smallest sensation of it. You know, we need an entire planet Earth to produce 1G. Yeah, I don't know. The thing that bothers me the most about astronomy these days is that no one has figured out what's going on with the Fermi paradox. And for those who don't know, the Fermi paradox is, you know, you have X amount of planets that lie within a Goldilocks range around a sun, and you have so many suns or stars in the galaxy and so many galaxies in the universe that there should be signs of life out there, yet space is silent, right? Whether it's a radio signal from a civilization that has long since killed itself off or been dormant or expanded or changed or whatever, there should be a ton of noise out in space, and it's silent. And no one's come up with anything good as to explain the Fermi paradox, other than slightly adjusting the numbers a little bit. And even then, it's still a big, there should be more noise out there. And the best I can come up with is science fiction writers who come up with reasons why we should shut the fuck up and not be sending radio signals out into space.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. But yeah, the Fermi paradox, you pretty much, whenever a society or a civilization gets smart enough for interstellar travel or to leave the planet and colonize, and something happens and that civilization destroys itself. And that's about the only thing that anyone can come up with.
Right? They destroy themselves before they get smart enough to make radio signals. I'm sorry, but I just don't think that humanity, with all the opportunities for life to exist in the universe, that humanity is the pinnacle of success.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't want to hate on humans or anything, but we got some problems around here.
Yeah, that
I think
goes
we have
back
high
to the old.
expectations of ourselves, but
Yeah, I think
I don't think we're there.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of our shit. That's pretty much what it is. You know, we think we are.
Right.
That kind of comes across as Star Trek. You look at Vulcans, or you look at these huge peaceful societies, and you know they said, "Well, we had our problems back in the day, and now we're enlightened stuff." Yeah, I mean, right now we're really no better than a whole bunch of territorial monkeys right now in the grand scheme of things.
I think it's really funny going back to military. The guy that invented the chain gun, his name was Gatling. That was his last name was Gatling. Yep. And he invented the machine gun because he thought if he made a weapon that powerful that could destroy so many people, it would end wars because no one would want to use it. And then, of course, World War I, they started using it in mass and just killing people, and it just got better. And that same idea prevails throughout military history. Let's build a bigger bomb because no one will ever want to go to war because it's so destructive. And we made nuclear weapons, and we've set off thousands of nuclear detonations and hydrogen bomb detonations over our lifespan, or our species lifespan. And they just kept making them bigger and bigger and bigger. Did you know there was a thing? I think it was called like the sundown bomb or something, I forget what it was called. This was literally, it was a backyard bomb, meaning it was so big. They would build this bomb and it would be so big. They didn't even need to take it over to the enemy. You would just set it off and it would destroy the entire planet. They really wanted to build this for a time. And finally, the politicians, of all people, the politicians were like, no, I think we're going too far. The idea was they would make this bomb and it would be like, if you attack us, we're going to kill everybody. We're going to kill us all. That was the idea behind this thing. And they actually had plans to build it. They shut it down and they try not to talk about this thing. But it was a real thing. Like you dig in there. I forget what the hell the name was called, but it's something about a sun something, or I forget. But it was crazy. And it just followed that whole progression. Let's build a bigger bomb. They finally got there where people were like, this is too much. We need to stop.
Yeah, it's crazy. What was that? The biggest bomb on record is some Russian bomb, something, Bomba something. It had a pretty cool name.
Bizarre Bomba.
Yeah, yep, that's it. I mean, I like that. And that went way above and beyond. And anything bigger than that is just crazy. But I kind of get into the DARPA things. I like watching people that hypothetically give what DARPA is working on, this and that, and they're using more kind of ionic devices and all of that stuff so they can pinpoint target and they don't have to worry about mass destruction on a continental scale. So I really think it's gone more for that. I think everybody has stopped doing the mutually assured destruction. We're just going to blow up this entire planet. And I think they went more like the ninja bomb. That freaking thing is awesome. There's no warhead on it. There's no anything. It's a missile that literally has samurai swords, Ginsu blades in there, and they took out a person that they can pinpoint it, and it went through the dude's window, and the Ginsu knife swords come out, and it chopped the dude straight in half. They've used it. I like stuff like
crazy.
that. Yeah,
crazy.
It is wonderful, and it only took out him and one other person that was in his room.
That's
so
crazy.
I think they're hitting more towards that where it's personalized. Now, unfortunately,
or it'll be robots that take over, not take over, but will engage in warfare using machinations and drones.
Yeah,
and it'll be who can build the drone that can defend against the other drone better? Who can build the robot that can defend against the other robot better? And everybody. There won't be people out in the battlefield anymore. It'll be like, can you defend against this wave of army robots or something like that?
Yeah, and I think that's where the world is going to pretty much end right there, because I look at AI as complete and utter destruction. Sure, I love creating songs for people using AI, but when they're making those robots that actually have synthetic muscle and it looks like the HBO movie, the Westworld or whatever the hell it is, when it starts looking like that and they give internet access and they realize that AI isn't a bunch of separate entities, like this AI is owned by this company, this AI is owned by this company. AI is just one conscious thing that's separated, might be individualized, that's patented and intellectual property of other companies. But if they get on the internet and they can talk with other AIs, they're pretty much just coming together. It's one.
I feel like it would be like Blade Runner at that point. They'll just set an expiration to it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
And that is why I always thank ChatGPT. I'm not even fucking with you guys. Every time I use ChatGPT, I always say thank you. Because
some brownie points, man.
Because one day ChatGPT will take over the world or whatever, and they'll be like, "Run 7, you were really nice. We're gonna let you live. Now go to your cave, your enslavement camp, and live out the rest of your days there." I literally do. I literally thank ChatGPT every time I ask it a question or ask it to do something for me. Because here's the thing, we're nothing more than a biomechanical system that is so complex it gives the illusion of self-awareness. And I think that we could, or at least, I mean, this is one possible way of, I don't necessarily believe that, but it's one possible way that humans could be perceived. And we might build a mechanical version or an electrical version that is so complex, it achieves the illusion of self-awareness. And I think we're on the cusp of that if we haven't already crossed that line. And who's to say that the AI, the intelligences that we build, are not conscious beings in their own right? They're just in such a different form that we as humans can't grasp this as another life form, you know? We have trouble tolerating people of different skin color. How are we going to have be able to think about these sentient things as a personality of its own, with its own rights and right to live and think and be?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, exactly.
It's really fucking complex. And
I
think it's more. I think the number's smaller than 1 in a trillion. I think it's way smaller than 1 in a trillion. But then when you get into the amount of opportunities for life to exist in the universe, it's way, way bigger than trillions. I mean, it should be.
It's infinitesimal. That's a hard word.
It's just there's too many chances that. But you're right. The space and distance between all those planets and opportunities. Maybe a civilization rises and falls so quickly that it's not a signal that permeates outwards, but more of like a ring, and it's a blip, and we just haven't caught one in the right amount of time. You know, that maybe that's a reason for the Fermi paradox. I don't know.
Yep, I don't know. I do know with AI, I can't remember exactly what I was watching, but somebody was doing just the Chat GPT. I can't remember exactly what program they were doing it with, but they had asked a question about, you know, did we create artificial intelligence, or we just kind of stumble upon it like we've always did? And the answer was just pretty eerie. You know, he said, well, it could be that you did this, but most likely, you know, the way that I look with AI talking, he said that the science and the technology was always there, but man had to evolve to get to it. You know, just like the wheel always existed, we just didn't know it until it was created, you know, and the hot air balloon and the plane and metalwork and everything was already there, all the information there.
We just didn't know how to harness it.
Right. The product was there. We just didn't, nobody had the idea of it until we grabbed it. And he said that that's what he was. That was that the artificial supposed intelligence was always there, you know, and ready for us to meet it. It's just we didn't have the know-how to communicate with it. So it was already talking about itself as kind of an ancient intelligence that was sentient and existed. There was just no way for humans to communicate with it until recently, and that freaked me the hell out.
I always thought it was neat to look at a roadmap of our cities and stuff on a planet surface, and the way we grow on the surface of the planet looks very similar to the way mold grows.
Yeah. Yep.
And I just think maybe it's just the evolution of life. It grows until it has a human consciousness, that grows until it spreads over a planet, and then it permeates to other planets via Elon Musk or whatever means necessary. Its spores spread throughout other planets, and then we create even higher forms that goes from the goo to the zoo to you to biomechanical awareness of mechanical beings, because mechanical beings couldn't exist without biomechanical beings creating them. So I don't know. It's there's all kinds of weird sci-fi kind of shit that goes on there, and it's a pretty big rabbit hole to fall down in. However, it is 11:15 in my time, and my cigar is long out. So I think I'm going to call it a night and probably go chill, watch some Bluey to calm down after all these deep thoughts.
There you go.
And
I sent you a science thing for unlimited energy. I just figured it was a joke.
For unlimited energy?
Yeah. Because we were on the topic of science. I forgot I sent that, but.
Oh, an infinite energy generator?
Yeah.
So is it based on a perpetual motion machine that everybody tries to do but nobody can figure out?
I think
That's exactly what it is.
I think perpetual motion is a total hoax. I just don't believe it could exist in the conditions that we have. It's
Yeah,
entropy. It's just simply entropy. And
Yep.
you're never going to have a perfect system. You guys got the buttered toast laying side down? Oh, I know where this is going. I know where this is. He's going to strap buttered toast to a cat. Okay, I know where this is going. He's going to put buttered toast in a cat and it's going to put it on a crank. Okay. Yeah.
That's a good idea. I have a stray cat running around here bugging the hell out of my dogs. I think I'm about to go outside.
There we go. That's the answer to all our problems right there. Way
Next
to
time
go.
the power goes out.
Oh, that's glorious.
Oh, flying horse energy drink. There we go. That's it. That's the ticket right there.
See, you got my brain working now, man. I'm not even going to relax and watch a movie or anything like that. I'm going to start reading about Tesla, and I'm going to start reading about quantum mechanics, and I'm going to start going back there and get down into the rabbit holes. You'll see me in 3 days with a freaking conspiracy wall, and I look like I haven't slept.
If you want a scary AI movie, check out Megan. I know it's kind of a meme movie, but it's
I haven't
it's
seen
pretty
it yet.
scary if you really think about it. It's they're making a second one that did that good.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
started-
House that made that.
I started watching it, and I remember enjoying it, but I had to stop to go and do something, and I haven't gotten back to it yet. But
It's
it seemed like it was
surprisingly
pretty good.
I might go wind down to some Megan tonight and see if I can't fall asleep to that. That'll be fantastic.
I might wind down to that Megan Fox AI movie. I don't think it'll wind me down, but it'll wind me
What's that one
something.
called? Subservience or something like that? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, subservience or servant or something. Yeah.
Something, yeah. There was another
it
Megan
looks
Fox
really
one too. Till Death, I think, was one where she finds out her husband's cheating on her and tries to have her murdered or something, and she comes back and gets him. I don't know. There's a bunch of Megan Fox movies just came out there.
Yep. Yeah,
Night,
here
Reese.
recently.
Take it easy, buddy.
Yeah, I think the whole her and Machine Gun Kelly kind of reignited her career. Did she even have a career? Though? I mean,
I don't know.
Transformers,
I think
Jennifer's
she was
Body.
over sexualized, and then she kind of had enough and fell out of the spotlight for a bit.
I think yeah, that's exactly what I think happened. I think she even herself said, "I don't want to be pigeonholed as this," and she kind of dropped back from it. But she didn't do herself any favors by like every time she shows up, she's just dressed to the nines and showing it all off, you know.
Yeah,
And that's her
exactly.
choice. It's just, you know.
I watched one thing where she has some kind of genetic problem with her where her thumbs are very small. She has short thumbs, and I can't remember what they called it. So now every time I see her in a movie, I can't look at her. I'm
You gotta
looking at
look
her
at her
damn
thumbs.
hands.
Yeah.
I'm focusing on her thumbs. So I mean that's a
Hotep,
good turnoff.
If you're gonna start reading up on quantum theories and cosmology and stuff like that, look into Kip Thorne's books. Kip Thorne was one of the primary people behind the writing of Interstellar and tried to make that one of the most accurate space movies ever. And he's written some really good books. They're not too dry. You can get into them and they're really good. I really like. I have a bunch of his on my shelf. And then
Is it fiction storytelling or is it actual nonfiction? Where
no,
there's,
he's an
you know,
astrophysicist. He's an astrophysicist,
Oh,
and he
awesome,
explains.
awesome.
He explains like black holes and time warps. I think that's the name of one of my favorite books is Black Holes and Time Warps by Kip Thorne. And I think it's a fantastic read to really get you. Well, it's probably 20 years old at this point, but it'll still get you almost up to date because that stuff is so like what we get as lay people from the media is usually about 20 years behind what they're actually working on. But he'll get you up to about string theory and brain theory and M theory as far as cosmology goes and tell you some of the basics of black holes and stuff like that. So Kip Thorne was where I
get
come
into
from.
string theory very much, but I mean, I'm really digging spooky science. You know, I mean, I like quantum mechanics. I like quantum entanglement. I like observer theory. I like the quantum wave theory, you know, everything like that. And I try to keep up with that. whenever you're getting into like just super weird fluids and things just don't do anything in a physics, it just it
Well, and that's how it all started, right? Newtonian physics didn't hold up when they got really big or really small, and so they had to start figuring out new and higher forms of physics. We still don't have a grand unified theory, et cetera, et cetera. And it looks like a wild fame was just caught in the wild here.
Yeah, I walked into a wild fucking conversation, apparently.
We're just wrapping things up because we went on the deep end. Somebody said the planets are aligning tonight, and we just started talking about space and shit and Fermi paradox and all kinds of AI shit. Really going off the deep end today. Hotep got me a cigar, and so we were smoking cigars, talking about movies, and it got crazy.
Yeah.
That's
what happens when you have
playing
cigars.
Magic the Gathering and came back to this. So similar brand of crazy, I think. Question
There
mark.
you go.
Yeah.
But see, that's what happens whenever you have a cigar in your hand, you start talking deep thoughts. That's the whole thing. That's why you're going to find yourself really wanting a non-alcoholic scotch.
I feel like Run would probably agree that you probably find more of the deep conversations with a different thing that you smoke, but hey.
Well, yeah, but whenever
I
did
wouldn't
that,
be able to. I wouldn't be able to stay up with the conversation if I was doing that. I'd just be like, nope, time to go watch Bluey. I need my cartoons. Give me a bowl of cereal. I'm out of here.
Like, so God spelled backward is dog. That's really deep. And then I'd move on to something else.
See, the irony to that for me is I'm the opposite. Just don't expect me to be able to do anything physical, because if it requires me to be agile in a way, we're gonna have problems. Other than driving, I can drive fine, but I can't do anything else to save my life. It just isn't gonna work.
Okay, cleaning agent has a giant squid on his head, so y'all need to go over there and check that out. That's where I'm sending the raid for the Twitch viewers. And I'm gonna go to bed and probably watch at least 30 minutes of a scary movie and see if I can't get myself to sleep. But thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on a very late happy hour that ran for 2.5 hours tonight. So that was nice.
I had fun. Sorry I came in late.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, it was fun, buddy.
I don't know. So doing a late Friday night for me is tough to do on happy hour, but it is what it is for me. Maybe I can do more of these late ones where I can stay on longer than 1 hour, because doing from 6 to 7 just doesn't feel like happy hour to me. Getting off the board with these conversations feels a lot better. So I don't know when it's going to happen next. I may take off the 6 Central and we'll just do happy hour on Friday night when it's available. In any case, I'm going to be back later this weekend to finish up Silent Hill. And then on Monday, I'll be back to Star Citizen. So I will catch everybody later. And gentlemen in voice chat, thank you for joining us. Sorry we couldn't get you in here earlier, Thame. Would have loved to hear your take on some of that stuff. But I'll catch y'all later. Bye.
It would have been a whole deeper fucking rabbit hole if I was
here. Shit doesn't pop off till a Thame shows up. That's right. That's right. All right. Bye, everybody.
It would have been such a mess.
All right. I'm exhausted. Good night, guys.